Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but before that, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys Matt Eberflus gets 100% real about what he expects from defense. For so long, the Dallas Cowboys have been trying to get over the hump and genuinely contend for a championship. That goal might be postponed, however, in favor of a more urgent one. Following a 7-10 season tainted by injuries and poor play, they need to get back on stable ground. New defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus likely feels the same way after a tumultuous head coaching tenure with the Chicago Bears. Maybe they can help each other regain their footing going into the 2025-26 campaign. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb and the entire Cowboys offense must come through when it matters most, but this franchise's ceiling is tied to its defensive performance. Dallas allowed 27.5 points and 355.2 yards per game, which ranks 31st and 28th in the NFL, respectively. Repairing the defense figures to be a complex process, but Eberflus has a clear understanding of what the end result needs to look like. And that is because he has seen it before. Yeah, pretty simple, we take the ball away, that's what we do, Eberflus said when asked what the hallmark of the Cowboys' defense is, per ESPN NFL Nation reporter Todd Archer. We stop the run. And we want to make exciting plays for our football team. That's really what we do. Eberflus worked for America's team from 2011 to 17, serving as linebackers coach for most of that time, so he knows a thing or two about making it work in Dallas. He aims to revitalize the defense by reminding players what works best. The Cowboys had a -6 turnover margin last season and gave up a whopping 137.1 rushing yards per game. The aforementioned injury issues undeniably contributed to the dismal production, but there was also a lack of execution. Dallas requires more discipline. A coach who led a team that suffered one baffling defeat after another admittedly does not seem like the most ideal choice to fix that problem, but Eberflus has found success as an NFL defensive coordinator. He could help star pass rusher Micah Parsons and the rest of the defense maximize their strengths. If Jerry Jones and the front office can give him enough to work with, fans might be pleasantly surprised to see what the heavily criticized Matt Eberflus can accomplish in his second stint with the Cowboys. At the very least, he appears to know the identity of this defense. Now the players must realize it, too. Giants named as projected suitor for Cowboys' potential $63 million free agent. It's not uncommon for division rivals to target one another's free agents in March, and the New York Giants would be a great fit. Dallas Cowboys UFA defensive lineman Osa Odighizuwa in 2025 according to the 33rd team's Marcus Mosher. After first estimating that Odighizuwa would earn a 3-year, $63 million contract, $21 million per year, in NFL free agency, Mosher linked the Giants, Cincinnati Bengals and Washington Commanders as projected suitors. This is not a particularly deep class when it comes to interior defensive linemen, but there are two top-end talents who will get massive deals, Mosher wrote. The first is Osa Odighizuwa, a 4-year starter for the Dallas Cowboys after being selected in the 3rd round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Odighizuwa led all interior defenders in quarterback hits this season and is a force as a pass rusher despite less than stellar sack totals, the NFL analyst went on. He is on the smaller side for a defensive tackle, but teams prioritizing pass rush ability and durability will fall in love with Odighizuwa this offseason. Finally, Mosher added that you can expect Odighizuwa to make at least $20 million per season. Reasoning: given the lack of depth at defensive tackle in free agency, it wouldn't be a surprise if he earned significantly more. We saw Christian Wilkins sign a deal worth upwards of $27 million last year, and Odighizuwa is younger and far more durable. One of the Giants' strengths is their defensive front, but there was one weak spot that limited this unit's impact in 2024, and that was the interior defensive line role next to Dexter Lawrence. Odigizua would take over for veteran Raheem Nunez-Roches, among others, in filling this position, which would then set up Big Blue with one of the most ferocious defensive lines in football. On most passing downs, when the Giants operate out of a 2-4-5 formation, they'd flaunt OLB Brian Burns, Lawrence Odigizua, and OLB Kayvon Thibodeau with inside linebackers Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden just behind the front four. At that point, the starting defense would just need another cornerback and another safety. Assuming Jason Pinnock doesn't re-sign in free agency. It would all start up front for the Giants though. According to Pro Football Focus, Odigizua recorded the fourth-best pass rush win rate, 15.1%, in football last season among interior defensive linemen playing a minimum 50% of snaps. For reference, Lawrence finished at a 12.5% pass rush win rate before his injury. Needless to say, opposing offensive lines would have to seriously think twice about doubling up Lawrence and Burns with Odigizua on the field, and if they do, the Cowboys' free agent would get plenty of one-on-one matchups himself, as would Thibodeau. While expensive, an acquisition like this might just be the missing piece that this NYG defense has been looking for. The Giants are in a pretty decent spot financially, although it would be helpful to free up a little bit more cap space ahead of free agency. One easy way to do so, especially if General Manager Joe Schoen is pursuing an upgrade on the defensive line, would be to release Nunez-Roches. Bleacher Report listed Nunez-Roches as one of the Giants' most likely cap casualties on January 20th. Writing, Raheem Nunez-Roches is a fine player. However, if the Giants get the idea that they want to carve out more cap space, he's a player they are going to discuss. The Giants can create $3.6 million by releasing the veteran. Nunez-Roches is going to be 32 next season, and he's only been a rotational run stuffer. They are likely better off pocketing their cap savings and giving his snaps to a younger player who could be part of a rebuilding defense. Coupled with a cheap run-stuffer addition in free agency or the draft, a scenario where the Giants sign Odigizua and cut Nunez-Roches would be an absolute home run for this regime. Yes, Big Blue has needs elsewhere, but sometimes it is more impactful to turn a solid strength into an elite weapon. Cowboys target Ashton Jeanty makes preferred NFL landing spot perfectly clear. The NFL offseason is in full swing as the calendar moves into the middle of February. The coaching carousel has run its course and teams are gearing up for free agency beginning in March and the draft to follow soon after. This is a significant period for all 32 teams, but an especially important time for the Dallas Cowboys as they have installed a new coaching regime that will likely have to replace a number of key contributors from last season's roster. One of the areas of focus this offseason will be at running back, a position the Cowboys let fall to the wayside a year ago. Brian Schottenheimer's offense projects a heavy emphasis on the ground game, so that same strategy will be ill-advised this time around. It appears the draft will be the ideal place for Dallas to snag their running back of the future. A deep class at the position will give them options to best strategize serving that need while attacking the other holes on the roster. However, Ashton Jeanty, widely believed to be the best running back prospect in the draft, is clamoring to be a Cowboy. Jeanty is a native of Frisco, Texas, playing his high school ball at Lone Star High School. He has hinted in previous interviews his desire to return to his old stomping grounds and continued that homecoming campaign in an interview with former NFL head coach John Gruden. Gruden asked him simply which city he would like to live in and play football, to which Jeanty replied, "I was just there a few years ago playing high school football, in the Ford Center, up there in Frisco, Texas, to be back in Dallas practicing in that facility again, playing in that facility again, that would be amazing." Jeanty's requests have not devolved into demands or warnings for other teams not to draft him. But his not-so-subtle hints are pretty glaring signals for the Cowboys. And you fan? What do you think of Ashton Jeanty's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.